Woo! Today we got a good one. Don't forget to subscribe. Join the Dreams Amino. If you have the Amino app, a bunch of cool people there. Uh, Check my channel playlist. Click my channel name, then go to my channel playlist for individual tutorials on logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more. If you need help with that, hit the bell. All that great stuff, music tutorials, all that stuff. And here's some of the stuff that I have been working on. And I plan on working on a new scary game as well. So right here is a really cool one, really freaky, and we've been just making characters, as you can see. That's what I've been doing right now. So, free props, another reason to follow me in Dreams on Youngtuck's YouTube. Let's get into this. The Cuphead run and gun shoot 'em up, that's what they're called. Look up my first person shooter tutorial if you want to know how to change this yellow gun. You want to look at part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2 of the first person shooter. The missiles that come out, they're labeled as missile, the bullets, the projectiles. So all you should have to do to get the impacts correct for the enemies is put the label down for either the impact sensor or trigger zone as missile, and they should be affected by whatever shoots out of there. It's either missile or weapon. I'm sure it's missile, so that's that. Let me show you where you can find this template at, and we'll just redo the first part before we even get into the tutorial. Go here, then you'll go here, you'll hit remix. So it's really easy. You want to turn this to the side, and that's important. You want to press L1 and X. I want to square. Turn this on. Turn up the run speed. Make sure it's like at 99. Just overdo that. You probably want to turn up anticipated turn. Make sure that's on also. You can turn this up if you needed to like mask the floor angle, like if you're running up slopes and stuff. Anticipated turn. I like to turn this up all the way. You can mess with the breathing. For animation and stuff, you can do this. And since this is a 2D game, what you'll want to do is use this hitbox for fixing glitches. That's what I use it for, but I mean, you could use it for anything. I use it for fixing glitches. Check out my fighting game trigger zone tutorial. I have a new trigger zone tutorial coming out using the health modifier. Really cool. Stay tuned for that because you can use impact now and it'll instantly sense impacts. You want to turn this down all the way and you want to turn off auto look. Your thing is labeled as friend in the beginning. Your enemies should be labeled as foe. That's what I usually do. I like to line my characters up with this line right here. Really helps out making 2D type games like this. So what we're going to do now is press L1 and X twice. Open this up. You want to turn on weapons. Then you want to open up this right here. Then you'll want to delete everything out of display because this stuff will get in the way, or you can just turn off the node. Next, what you want to do is go here, delete this, and then you're done with that. Next, what you want to do is delete the camera. And to do that, you want to have to turn on view is invisible. Open this up. You want to delete it from here, or you can delete it from out here and then in there. And that should be the camera. Now there's no camera. So what you want to do now, open this. Not this. Open the controller one. That's that right there. Press L1 and X on it. And usually, whenever I go here, I'd make this 5.0. It seems to work good for me. You can mess around with it, but that's what you want to turn on. You can mess around with the other settings, and also deactivate the things that make it die. And within the template, there's checkpoints and stuff, and other stuff that you can use. And there's also a health modifier right here if you need to learn how this works. What you want to do is decrease this and then put it on impact, and that's the kind of hitbox that I'm talking about. For lava, you can change it to continuous, you know what I'm saying? And whenever I open up the main thing, I will show you guys how to do health bars and stuff like that, knockback, damage, whenever I open up mine. So I think that should be everything for getting the basic parts set up. Remember to turn that on. Remember to look up my first person shooter tutorial if you want to learn how to change this weapon right here. You want to look up for part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. It's a little jerky. Mine isn't that jerky. So I'm guessing it's something in here. You can also mess with the jump height right here. Right there, you can mess with that. Must be like the arm vigor. Center of gravity is right there, that's important. So I think you'll just want to turn that down. Or delete whatever's making that 15%. Lean lag, delete that. Mine doesn't have lean lag. I like springiness, that's good for animations. Look up my animation tutorial playlist. This is technically ragdoll. Anticipated turns all the way up. Let's just go ahead and test it. So I have no idea what's making that 15%. It's at 0 now. Let's play. And I don't know, I just start deleting stuff. So that. Has something to do with this right here. Something in here. There you go. So that's that. That's how you get it set up. Now for the extra stuff that you guys might want for the Cupheadiness. So what I'll do is go to the dream that I am working on. Let's go ahead and show it off. So how do you get all this down using the media molecule template? First, let's talk about the health bars, and then we'll talk about the knockback. This is what's damaging us. Just place a health modifier here. You'll either want to put it on impact or zone. If you put it on zone, make sure it's a small hitbox. Right here. Is this our, yeah, this should be our thing that's giving us health. So pull out a text displayer, press space in here. Green, I have it on these settings, turned off auto look. Then over here I have it on these settings. Then with the keyframe, what you'll want to do is record yourself. Press L1 and X on this and record yourself scrolling this all the way down. Next, what you want to do, the dot on the far right, pull it this way to where it's like this. And then if you want to make it red, pull out another keyframe, pull the dot right there, just like you did the first one, and then change the color of the text displayer's thing right here. You want to press space in here to make the text displayer visible without any words. And then with the health manager that's inside of the puppet, you want to plug remaining health into the playhead. Next, what you want to do, no health, currently losing health, you want to plug that into go backwards of your puppet interface. For the knockback, pull out a action recorder, take this off a keep. You might want to mess around with the speed, make sure it's on once, and then pull out a switch like this, on off switch. Record this for about 2 to 5 seconds. Press L1 and X on this and record yourself pressing that. You'll want this initially off before you record yourself trying to press it on, because this is going to be off. Make sure this is not on keep change. Just make sure you mess around with the speed. And then plug the on section into, you can plug that in to go backwards also if you want a stronger knockback. This is to make the knockback stronger. Next, you want to make sure everything you place down is lined up with the line you see there, including your enemies. The enemy that I'm using you can use for your games. It's called a lizard enemy sword character or whatever. I just typed in enemy and I found it in the Dreamverse. You can copy the logic within it to learn how to make enemies for your game. You'll want to make some of them a little bit smarter, like whenever they're on platforms, make sure they don't fall off, you know. Or they jump, they have different properties, you know what I'm saying. And the health manager, whenever it's like stuff that's outside of here, like lava and stuff, you'll want to put it on zone, continuous, 20, make it affect what it needs to affect. If your characters are invisible or not collidable, mess with these. And you can change the zone type right here and whatnot. So how am I getting hurt? How am I getting hurt? How's the damage being affected through this right here? Well, whatever is your animation for your attack, what you'll want to do is open it up, and during the part where it swings the sword or whatever, you will want to make a keyframe. This keyframe turns on your health modifier for your character. And if you have it on impact, it'll be like, you know, it'll be a built-in hitbox the game already renders for you, I'm guessing. It'd be good to figure this out, and if you don't want any imps in your game, pull out global game settings, put this off. And also do something like that in the control sensor and with cameras. So whatever is the timeline animation for your attacks, make a keyframe turn on your modifier. With your modifier, you might have to plug it into the puppet like this. You don't always have to, if it's in, like, you know, the puppet microchip, you sometimes don't have to, but you do normally have to plug that into whatever the affected object is. And then if your character is labeled friend, put the label right here. If it has 2 labels, you can put all selected and put multiple labels. So make sure it's all the labels that it is labeled. To get rid of the footsteps, you want to open up your thing, or if you want to add your own footsteps, you want to open up the sound menu, sound effects, and then it should be an option in here that you can mess with. Again, this is a very good character to use and learn from. Just search it up in the Dreamverse. And you want to make sure everything is on 2D. Anticipated turn speed up to like 9 million. And this should essentially be it. So how I got the damage to work, a keyframe not on keep changes, and I put it inside of anything that is the attack timeline, which can be found in here. What I had to do was make a tag called player, and I put it inside of here. No capitalization with that tag. And then this enemy senses that tag. And then I also had to add a trigger zone that also senses that tag. I set it to tags, player, no capitalization. If it is detected for some of these, then what it does is press L1 X and then L1 and square, go here and put detected into these settings. So I had to add that. Here's your enemy's health manager. You can mess around with the settings for this. And again, it can be easily found by typing in enemy. And there it is. Lizard enemy is what it's called. And this is how you can easily make a 2D shoot 'em up Cuphead-like game. Remember to check out my first-person shooter tutorial if you want to learn how to change this yellow weapon. So what's making my gun raise whenever it comes into an enemy? That's the gun clipping option. You can mess around with that. It'll be a name somewhere in here inside of these microchips. It'll be called either stop gun clipping or something, either that, or it's also could be in the hand animations. You can mess around with that. But there's a gun clipping option somewhere. If you need to pull out the puppet's enemy projectiles and change it, open this up. And there might be two, but essentially you can change it right here. You'll want to turn on visibility or turn on invisible to do that. Check out my how to make characters if you want to learn how to make realistic characters. This right here is just a base character that I wanted to make so you guys didn't have to look at a puppet, but the puppets actually go hard. And for landscaping or level design, check out my level design tutorial. Hope you guys enjoy this. Remember to keep everything lined up with this line if you want to make everything look fantastic. Don't forget to turn your puppet to the side whenever you're doing this off of the template. I'm not sure what axis it's actually going off of, but if it's going off of the y-axis, usually y is up and down like jump. But if it's a different axis when we turn it, y could be this way, so also be careful about that. Other things that are in there, projectiles, destructible objects, you can use that for your game. It's built into the template. And there are checkpoints. There's a checkpoint thing that you don't have to delete somewhere over there whenever you're opening up the template. If there's anything I left out, just let me know. What you'll want to do is go to the control sensor and put this, and then you can mess with the visibility settings. If off-screen indicators right here, and I usually delete the die thing. You might want to, if you see your character losing health for no reason, it could be this, or dying for no reason, just unplug anything that's in the die and anything in here that's in the die. And you can also clone health managers. If you see yourself not losing enough health, you can clone it. And that should work too. want to line up the keyframe that turns on your health manager up. You want to line that up with the animations if you see yourself getting hurt before you should get hurt. And usually whenever I have it on zone, sometimes I'll get hurt for no reason. That's why I turn on the impact. What you'll also want to do is look up a health manager tutorial. I'm still learning about the health manager. I know a lot about dreams, but I'm still learning how to use that thing. But from what I can see, it's like essential to making your games fast. So don't forget to subscribe, follow me in Dreams, join the Dreams Amino, and I hope this helps you make your game in Dreams PS4.